Hi, everyone. All right.
Hi.
We are on our March 3rd Zoom EAC meeting. Right, it's March 3rd, yes. Okay, so anyone want to call this meeting to order?
Motion to call to order.
Yes. Let's do it.
Second, Alan?
Yeah, I'll second that.
All in favor? Say aye.
Aye.
Okay, all right. First item on the agenda. Did everyone get a chance to review the meeting minutes from February?
Yes, they look good.
Yeah, I have no issues with them. They look good to me.
Allison, you wrote them.
I know.
Oh,
I'm
Sorry, my daughter gets on this computer and puts her name in, and
At first, I thought I read it wrong. I'm like, wait, what? I'm like, just
Yeah.
ignore it.
that's happened before. I'm correcting it. No more Allison.
All right. So do we have a motion to approve the meeting minutes from February?
I will make a motion to approve the minute.
Seconded.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, I will get them out tomorrow. We're going to skip over number 2 because I have not heard from Jim Majewski and I have to bug him again. I don't know what's going on with that. So we go to number 3.
So tree planting?
Planting.
We on number 3?
Yes. What did we decide on number 3?
All right, well, I have
Isn't there a
little
letter?
report.
Tree planting, yeah, we sent the supervisors a letter on
Oh, we
February,
sent it. Okay.
February 4th.
Okay.
And I've heard crickets since, so I was
Well,
wondering, Dan,
lest I see on or hear from others about Facebook about the crickets, Alan, please allow me to follow up and try to get you a response.
okay, because I was thinking maybe I should bring it up in public comment at one of your meetings, or would you rather do it your way?
You are always welcome to come to public comment, Alan. And it's all about the relationship you want to forge with people. So you feel free to.
Well, no, if you think you can do it better,
I didn't say that, but I promise that I will follow up as we speak.
okay. And could you find out about the buffer signs, if it's okay to put up riparian buffer signs at Patterson Farm? That's in the letter.
Okay.
All right, with respect to the tree planting too, we were envisioning something this spring, but we need a pretty quick turnaround on that if it's going to be a spring planting, because a lot of these major nurseries are pretty booked up right now. So again, Suzanne, anything you can do to help us with that would certainly be appreciated.
Right, but so that's I will definitely follow up, right? But I don't get to control our resources, right? And any kind of tree planting that's done is going to require some involvement of the township staff. So
Yes.
Well, I think the spring one wouldn't be the volunteer one. The spring one would be the one that we would contract out.
right, but there's still some element.
But we still
of-
know, yeah, we still need an element of someone sending out RFPs and all that. Yes.
All right, with respect to the tree planting again, I talked to Fernbrook about the the 2 replacement trees for the Compass Arboretum, and they have the trees that we need in stock. I received a price from them. I forwarded all that information to Lynn Todd, and Lynn is already prepared or is in the midst of preparing a purchase order that will be sent to Fernbrook. What we're envisioning is an April planting. That might be tight for Fernbrook, but they said would Saturdays do? And since we're going to be home in April, Saturday, it works fine with me. So we'll see what happens, okay? But fingers crossed, I'd like to get that done as early as we can this year.
All right. Yeah, just keep us updated on that one, I guess. What else we have? Land use. Alan, talk about our extensive land use
Well,
item.
not a whole lot happened this last month. We sent in our comments on the 1566 LLC subdivision on February 15th. And they'll probably be submitting, I assume, a revision to their plan, preliminary and final plan, in a couple months. And in the meantime, I'll try to get a copy of our township engineer's comments on it. So see what issues they identified. So I'll keep following it up. And there's really nothing new besides that. I did look at that property on Sandy Run Road that's for sale. It's maybe, I don't know, a third of a mile from Edgewood as you go down Sandy Run Road. It's 8.8 acres, I believe. It's got a for sale sign in front of it, and it's all wooded, and Brock Creek goes through it. So we'll keep an eye on that one. That'd be a nice open space purchase. The plans only have one house going in there, but Jim Majewski thought they might try to get two houses in. So we'll see about that one.
So I'm sorry, the land is for sale or there's
Yes.
a development plan?
The land is for sale. There was a subdivision back in 2002 that split this property in two, and there's a house on the property, one part of the property, and the other part of the property that was subdivided, it's approved for a house. It has a really small envelope though, and if they put a house the size that's on the plan, it wouldn't really be much of an issue, but the issue would be if they build a really big house or they try to get additional houses in there. So we'll follow it, see what happens. It was for sale for $450,000, I believe, at least a week ago.
Yeah, unfortunately, when they're spending that kind of money, the developer, we've had experience about this, they're going to try and shoehorn the largest house
Right.
imaginable they can get in there with approval, because their constant cry is that they can't make money on a smaller house. So we just have to stay on top of that.
Yeah, because they're asking a lot of money for the property, so I tend to push a developer in that direction.
He
And
started clearing.
they started clearing, oh, that's the one on the corner.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a different lot. Yeah, that was sad. We tried.
I know.
Yeah, they took down all those trees along the road, which
know.
I don't understand why they did that. But there's like almost 10 trees right next to the road they took down that weren't part of the building of the house. They were just, I don't know, along the road. So that's a done deal. And one other thing, the Park and Rec they have a meeting on March 8th, and they're gonna go over the park improvement plan. What is it called, Suzanne? There's a plan being put together to improve our parks.
The CAPRA thing that Monica is working on?
Is that it? CAFRA?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's
Yeah, and so,
certification.
this is about how to improve our parks and things like that. Yeah, so if you're interested, listen in on March 8th. We're gonna be talking about our parks and what to do with the properties and all that. So,
Alan, I don't see anything for sale on Sandy Run. Can you send me whatever link you have?
yeah, it was a week ago, and maybe, how lots go on and off for sale, but there was a sign there, and I will send it to you, I promise. I'll make-
If anybody has the link, I'm on the interweb right now looking. I don't see anything, so that would be
Yeah.
best.
The address they had down was 0 Sandy Run Road, which is kind of weird. So look for the 0 address. But yeah, I'll find it, send it to you.
Thank you.
And that's it for land developments.
What about the point, Alan, at Edgewood Village?
Nothing new on that. They haven't submitted a preliminary plan yet. They're still in the sketch plan phase.
All right, but you know, I think all of us know that area very, very well. How in heaven's name are they going to get 14 apartments in that point area there? That's going to be a monumental challenge, I think. And, you know, without destroying the integrity of that area.
Yeah, it would be dense pack. Well, maybe that's why they haven't submitted a preliminary plan yet.
Yeah.
Figured it out yet. But yeah, nothing else is going on now. On another side issue, the Torbert farm, it is probably going to get sold. So that's too bad. But we'll see. Gene heard some information on that. Right, Gene?
Is it appropriate to discuss? Is it appropriate to be discussing in a public meeting? Because then let's continue. And if it's not, then.
Well, what do you think, Gene? I mean, Mr. Torbert died, so now it's going down to his heirs, the property.
Yeah. I certainly was at his funeral. So again,
Oh,
if this
really?
is appropriate
Okay.
to talk about, let's continue. And if it's not, let's stop.
Well,
Gene?
I don't know anything for sure. I mean, so I don't think we can talk about it, right?
Yeah, my feeling is that we don't have enough information right now to discuss this.
Okay. But it's something to keep our eye on. That's a big piece of property. I don't know, 100 acres?
Yeah, we should find out a little more about, and you know, I hate to admit my ignorance in this subject, but under the farmland preservation, Suzanne, maybe you can help us. Is this mandatory? Could we, for instance, let's say if a hypothetical 100-acre farm came up for sale, can we mandate that it be developed under the farmland preservation where clustering occurs and you end up with a lot of open space? Or is that a volunteer type thing?
It's not, it's contingent on like the size of the development and stuff like that. So I don't want to say, since we don't know. So continuing in our hypothetical discussion, you drive around and you see preserved farmland, that is all secondary to the SALDO and the other ordinances that were put into effect, so that when
Right.
farms disappeared, they would have to have a certain amount of preserved open space. If you are subdivided, I'm not so sure that you would necessarily get to the required mass, that might all kick in. I don't know. I have not heard any of this conversation other than what we are or are not hypothetically talking about.
Well, anyway, this is an area where I'm going to learn more about, okay, and start checking out the ordinance and see exactly what they say. So
I would say hypothetically, if anyone ever is aware of a landowner who is interested in selling their property or an easement to the township, then they should certainly reach out to the township. That's probably the most sensible way. A lot of times these things, by the time they get to people's attention at the township, it's too late. So.
yeah, good point.
Yeah. Well, Gene, keep investigating.
All right, I guess we're on the next item then.
Recycling. Did we make a determination? What did we determine for the next styrofoam collection?
I can throw out a date. How about May 21st?
May what, 21st?
Yeah, the next weekend's Memorial Day, so we probably don't want to do it then.
Yeah, that's a Saturday.
Yeah.
April. Yeah, I have, you know. I think we're going to be around. I'm not sure though. I think we're going to be going from April into maybe half of May, but I think the 21st we probably should be around.
All right.
Well, I bet they can do it without us.
I think they can do it probably very well without us.
No, you've got,
But
experience stuffing styrofoam into big plastic bags.
Hey, let me tell
Well,
you.
so that brings up a good point, though. So now we have to figure out, are we
Before we pick the
We're in
date, we
charge
better
of-
figure out where is this going?
exactly and how
Right.
it's getting there? That was our big problem last month.
Yeah, well, we can rent a truck. I'll do that. And I'm still debating whether it's better to take it to Ray Bob and wait till Monday because it's closer, or just get it done with and on that Saturday afternoon, drive it up to Princeton Molding.
Well, not to rain on your parades, but
Yeah.
if we moved it to May 22nd, right, people could theoretically also recycle on a Sunday.
Uh-huh.
Then you wouldn't have the truck for so long. That might help.
Yeah, if they rent trucks on Sunday. But yeah, that's a possibility. Could we have it from 10 to noon, or would we have to move the time?
It's usually a 24-hour rental.
No, he's questioning the time of people bringing their styrofoam to us.
Oh,
Yeah.
Well, the only thing is, it's very traditional for us to have it on a Saturday. It's always been on a Saturday, and we get a huge turnout then. So I'm not sure we want to play around with, what.
There are definitely some people who cannot participate because it's a Saturday. So maybe we could venture on a Sunday and see if that brings more people.
Well, there's,
test.
why not try it then? Okay.
Would it be from 10 to noon or noon to 2?
Why wouldn't it? I think 10 to 2 is still better.
We 10 to noon. We do it for 2
Go to
hours.
church, but
How about 11 to 1? Take that baby in.
All right, we'll do it 11 to 1.
11 to 1.
11 to 1?
Yeah.
It's not football season, Alan. It should be okay.
Okay. Yeah, it should be nice weather, but not too hot. So
But now that we've said all that, the Braves may or may not be available. Right now, do others think they would likely be available?
I would,
I should be available so far.
nice.
I would be available potentially at the end.
Thank you, Jonah.
Well,
Suzanne?
my personal
Then are you
feeling
back?
is I think we need at least 6 volunteers from
Yeah.
Monica to make this thing work out. We've become victims of our own success. What I'm envisioning is that using these really, really large bags and having, let's say, 2 or 3 volunteers on a bag, and you really need that. 2 of them to hold the thing apart and the other to shove the stuff in. And I think if we get like 6 or 9 volunteers, it would make the day go a lot quicker. That was our holdup the last time. We didn't have enough people there. And I think with this new procedure, tweak procedure, I think that would work pretty well and we get the stuff in the van right away.
So I'll just counterpoint that a little bit. If we have these bags, because we ran out of bags, and in the past we've told people not to bring bags, but this time we needed bags. So if we have bags, these big bags, we could meet the people at their cars, put it right into the bag, right?
Right.
Because we had some very cool styrofoam last time. That I still
well,
wish
Yeah,
it
this
had
is
gone to
exactly
court.
this is exactly what I'm talking about, Suzanne, where you have the volunteers, they have the bag, the car pulls up, they go right to the car. The man or woman comes out, they load it right in the bag, throw it in the, or if the bag's not full, fine, and then they go on their way. This was similar to like that recycling we had years and years ago, which was one of the smoothest events imaginable. But I think you're right. The way to do it is we go right to the car and take care of it right and then. And then we get the cars in and out of there. We don't have a backlog.
All right, we'll make sure we have plenty of bags.
They're not easy to come by, Alan. They're not just any old bag.
I know the 100-gallon. I emailed Mark Bortman, and that's what he said he used, and he gave me a link to buy them, and they're pretty much the same as the link you gave me, Linda. So I think we'll be good.
So Alan, aren't you going to put in the flyer, ask people to bring it in bags? Can we do that? I mean, there's no particular kind of bag we need do we?
Well, I don't think it matters whether they bring it in a bag or not. If with our procedure, the students are right at the car. They get out, they shove the stuff right in, whether it's in a bag or not in the bag, and off they go.
Well, if they brought it in a bag, and then that would make it that much easier.
I'm not sure it would, because the whole deal is we don't want 50, 20 gallon bags and, maybe 20, 100 gallon bags. I think everything should just go all in these big bags and then throw it in the truck.
Yeah, it's fine with me. So we're talking May 22nd, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m.
Right.
Suzanne, are you and your daughter going to be there? Because we would.
Someone would run down to Kauai Tori right now, where she is a hostess, and ask her. I think I can volunteer, and maybe even some other friends, depending what sports season is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, without you and your daughter, we'd still be there.
It was crazy. Like that was
It was.
I think we have some styrofoam hoarders in a good way. But
Right. Well, there is a TerraCycle home now has a pickup, compost pickup, which we don't need because we have Heather, but they also have a pickup at your home for $20 a month for 2 pickups, and they pick up unrecyclable plastic like styrofoam and candy wrappers and a whole bunch of other stuff. And I'm going to find out more about that. I'm personally very interested, and that would, I think if some of these people that bring tons and tons of styrofoam might be interested in taking advantage of that.
We could have a flyer for it.
Yeah.
And speaking of flyers, I'll start to put together one for May 22nd. And Kevin, did you want batteries collected like last time?
Yeah, anything up to and including 9 volts is fine.
Okay, so we'll include those. And Sumya, are you good with the prescription bottles?
Yeah, except that I'll check the text before you send it out.
Okay, yeah. That was a lot of fun. Yeah, we'll do.
Suzanne, are you back? I need to pick up some bottles from you.
I'm back.
Okay. I'll coordinate over the
Yeah.
weekend.
Thank you so
Kevin,
much.
Kevin, what did you say about your batteries up to what is?
Up to and including 9 volts.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, I mailed 24 pounds of corks out 2 weeks ago. So
The TerraCycle thing looks interesting, Jean.
Yeah, doesn't it? That's pretty, I had gotten on a list maybe a month ago. And they were not doing anything in our area, but I added my name to the list, and just the other day they sent me that information, and I think that's very cool. There's a lot of good stuff there so we'll get that on the website so people can take advantage of it. But nobody's allowed to compost with them. They have to compost with Heather.
Well, it is technically, I think, a little bit cheaper, but you don't get any compost back. It's not delivered to and from your door, and it's only twice a month. So I think Kona has a better overall package, not that we're endorsing any businesses here.
That's right. No, we would never do that.
Nope.
The second thing on recycling is some guidance on what can be recycled in Lower Makefield Township as far as residential recycling goes. And Gene had this idea. And what we're doing is we're trying to get information from each of the four haulers. We've got 4 right now. And see if we can make a nice flyer, maybe 2-sided, that says, this is what you can put in your recycling cart. This is what the township or the haulers will take. Because there seems to be a lot of confusion right now on what types of plastic and whether you can recycle milk cartons or not. So this is something we could hand out at Community Day and, you know, things like that, events like that. Anything else, Gene? You're helping me on this.
No, I don't think so.
You saw the stuff I sent you from Republic?
Yeah, yes, I
Okay.
haven't looked
We
at
gotta,
it yet.
yeah, get this all together. And
Yeah,
hopefully-
but you were going to, so you got that name of a representative at Waste Management from Perry?
Yeah, and it bounced back.
Yeah, and it bounced back. So have you gotten, maybe well, I'm in
We'll
Florida.
figure it out.
I can't, yeah, but we need to get the name of a contact so we can ask questions.
Yeah, well, once we come up with our list that we think's right, we'll verify it with them and Republic and with McCullough.
Yeah. And
So we'll keep you posted.
And Whitetail,
That's it, Whitetail.
yeah. And the rumor is that Waste Management is going to buy Whitetail. There's a rumor.
Really? So we should be buying Whitetail stock right now because it'll go up.
And we are not advocating for private businesses here at the EAC.
But
Isn't
profits,
Lek
we
one
gotta
of
make-
isn't Lek one of the haulers too?
No, they don't do residential hauling anymore in the township.
Now, we used to use them years ago, and then they stopped their residential business.
Just that I passed by one of their trucks the other day. That's why
Yeah.
I thought they were one.
Yeah, they do businesses.
Okay.
But they were wonderful because they came in, I remember them coming into an EAC meeting and talking about how they worked and what we could do and couldn't do. And they were sort of, we got more information from them.
Right. Very good. So that's it for recycling.
Thank you. Right, so the next one is
I can't hear you, Linda.
Next one is the plastic bag reduction.
Sure. I believe that the latest is I had sent to the EAC, and I received a little bit of feedback on a drafted letter to send along to our township supervisors, including Supervisor Blendy. So I'm happy to review that letter now, if we feel that that would be an appropriate use of our time, just to ensure that this is a letter that properly speaks in our voice. I will pull that up in just a moment on the screen share. I regret that my computer has opted to be rather slow right now. And this is based off of some revisions that also Alan had suggested to the initial letter. As it reads, it currently includes a date, the addressees, Dear Bucks County Commissioners, we write on, and by the way, just interrupt anytime there is something that disturbs you in what you are seeing or you feel should be tweaked in any way. please, because I would love to make sure that we can address this letter to be the best, potentially in real time. We write on behalf of the citizens of Lower Makefield Township to address the state of single-use plastic bags in Bucks County. We in Lower Makefield, as well as other Bucks County municipalities, Plumstead, Doylestown, Newtown, Tinicum, Solberry, and Buckingham, share a concern about the ubiquity. Okay, that is an error that I will fix already. That should be ubiquitous use and damaging effects of single-use plastic bags. We feel this issue cannot be adequately addressed on a municipal level and can be better addressed on a larger county-wide basis. According to the Center for Biological Diversity, Americans use 100 billion plastic bags every year, and fewer than 15% of these bags get recycled. The accumulation of unrecycled plastic waste contributes to an environmental crisis that can only be slowed down by regional efforts to disincentivize the use of plastics, especially single-use plastic bags. The World Wildlife Foundation notes that plastic take decades and sometimes centuries to decompose. The slow breakdown of plastics exacerbate the North Pacific Ocean's Great Pacific Garbage Patch. This gyre of marine debris contains more than 1.8 trillion pieces of plastic and covers an area twice that of Texas. Plastic waste can be fatal if consumed by marine animals. Many plastics contain biohazardous chemicals that pollute the waters that humans drink. As part of our examination of single-use plastic bag use in Lower Makefield Township, our Environmental Advisory Council contacted Jeannie Colalilo, Director of Community Relations at the ShopRite of Hunterdon County. She said the ShopRite Corporation has been supportive of the statewide law that bans single-use plastic bags in New Jersey. New Jersey's effort to reduce single-use plastic bags allows ShopRites. Yes.
The official name for ShopRite is Wakefern, Wakefern.
Oh, thank you. Okay, let me.
So you could just put ShopRite, open paren, Wakefern Corporation.
Say that one more time, please. So it's ShopRite Wakefern Inc. Is that correct?
I would put Wakefern in parentheses after you mention ShopRite.
Sure.
Wakefern.
Sure. Great. Thank you.
So ShopRite is actually a co-op of independently owned stores.
Okay. Thank you very much for that correction. I have on, you cannot see it, but there is a document that I've just edited. So I have made that adjustment right now. She said the ShopRite Corporation has been supportive of the statewide law that bans single-use plastic bags in New Jersey. New Jersey's effort to reduce single-use plastic bag allows ShopRite's customers to carry home their purchased goods in sustainable bags. There is no option of shopping at another regional competitor where single-use plastic bags are provided. Ms. Colalilo contrasted this state effort with municipal attempts to reduce single-use plastic bags. Such efforts can lead to stores losing businesses to stores in other municipalities with no such plastic bag restrictions. A survey conducted this year by our EAC found that approximately 30% of Lower Makefield Township, that is another error that I can be sure to fix, should be an S. Supermarket customers use sustainable bags, example, reusable cloth bag or recyclable paper bag. About 70% of the customers use single-use plastic bags. In a 2019 survey conducted by the Doylestown Borough EAC, nearly 75% of respondents, 1,675 out of 2,235 people, reported that if a fee for single-use plastic bags was enacted, they would use a reusable bag. A survey in Plumstead Township last year found similar results. Approximately 77% that should be of respondents in Plumstead said they would bring their own reusable bag or a fee that should be enacted for single-use plastic bags. Our EAC knows that efforts to reduce the use of single-usage plastic bags are also being explored in Newtown, Tinicum, Solberry, and Buckingham. The plastics crisis is too large for any single municipality to solve. We therefore turn to the leadership of Bucks County to enact a small fee for those choosing to use single-use plastic bags. We believe this will incentivize store customers to employ environmentally sustainable bagging practices. As an alternative, the county commissioners could consider adapting laws similar to those recently adopted in New Jersey and Philadelphia that outright banned the use of single-use plastic bags. Submitted respectfully. And Supervisor Blendy, of course, this is not being submitted without your actual consent, but this is a draft. with all the names of our supervisors. Should I keep this up? Is there any discussion on this?
Should we suggest a fee or just leave it open for the plastic bags?
I think we should just leave the fee open and let the county commissioners decide on something like that. I'm very impressed with this, Jonah. The message is good and it's a strong message. And I tend to agree with Suzanne Lundy that on a local level, you have tough hauling with these kind of things, but on a county basis, I think it tends to make more sense. So again, my personal feeling is that it's certainly a good effort and very well written. And I guess the next step is, if we all agree with this, is to have Suzanne submit this to the board. And if they're in agreement, then I guess we just send it to the county commissioners. Is that the way we go here?
I think you go the way you go with everything, right? This is a letter from you guys. You're asking the board to consider sending it. So you would send it to, I would say, James as the chair, copy all the supervisors if you'd like. It's up to you. But just say, just like you've done with, or you're going to do with your letter on sewer proceeds, and apparently the infamous letter that got crickets from Alan 2 years ago.
So just
No.
sorry, just for clarification. So best is to
Once you guys are all aligned, Linda or Alan as the chair can send it into the board. Might even want to copy Katie, Linda, just so that, and say, we're recommending this letter or, version thereof be considered for adoption and send on to the county. I mean, if
Great.
you want me to actually come up with proper grammar, I'm happy to do that. But, it's nothing more different than what you guys do all the time.
Sure, thank you. Just for clarifying purposes. Oh, sorry.
I guess what we need tonight, though, is for all the EAC members to approve this.
Yeah, vote to send it to the supervisor.
Right.
So,
I mean, I'll make that motion unless there's going to be more discussion on this letter. I will make a motion that this letter be sent to the supervisors for their scrutiny, and hopefully they will agree with it and send it on to the county.
okay, I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 All right, so be it.
Well, except I have a question. Jonah, what is a GYRE?
A gyre. I believe that a gyre, well, there's probably somebody here who's going to be able to explain this far better than I can. So if anyone already knows the answer, just shout it out. I will otherwise turn to a Google image to try and explain what a gyre is.
A spiral or vortex?
Yes, thank you. So if you can imagine something that looks a bit like a tornado in the ocean.
Okay, all right. Thank you.
All right, well,
thank you.
Jonah, why don't you make all the revisions, send it off to all of us?
Yes.
Then I'll send it to the supervisors, copy Katie, and I'll copy each of you also. Suzanne, I'm asking your opinion on this one. Do we just take the date off at this point, since right now it says February?
Oh,
Put a date on it?
yeah,
or-
you can do whatever you want. I do like dates because just in case there's different versions, theoretically.
Okay, so
that
just
can help.
put
Today's date.
I'll put a
today's
newer
date.
date.
Yeah.
Today or tomorrow, whichever one.
Yeah.
Okay.
But if in fact the board sends something, believe me, it'll be changed and put on letterhead and stuff, so it'll get a whole new date.
Sure, I'm happy to send both PDF and editable Word document versions.
Right.
I'll just one procedural question, just so I understand best. Supervisor Blendy, is the case that is it common for a letter to be considered via email conversation, or is it something that will be during a supervisor meeting?
Would have to be in public.
Got it. Thank you so much. I'm happy to move forward with our next topic.
Yep.
And thank you, everybody.
Yeah, before we move away from this, though, I know there was a lot of contributors to this, but Jonah, you were the originator of this, and you did a real yeoman's job. Is yeoman? I guess that's sexist. A yo person's job, is that appropriate?
I don't know if person is
You
better
really
than
did a
yo
nice
man,
job
but
on this.
whatever.
I don't know a lot of yoke
You
people.
did a real nice job on this, and thank you.
No, thank
Well,
you.
I know it's premature, but Jonah, like the saddest letter we all received last month from you. So, I know you have a few more months with us, but geez Louise, for a new member, you've been the force.
No, thank you. I've been very happy to be part of the EAC, and I look forward to contributing more things beyond this one upcoming letter.
All right.
Mrs.
Jonah's going to be in the background packing, and he's going to be like, wait.
Mrs. Jonah.
Jonah, I know I can't get past that one.
I don't know that she's Mrs. Rank. She may be, she may not be. I don't know.
She's a rabbi doctor, but that's okay.
Dr. Rabbi Jonah.
Yeah.
Oh, golly. We have some.
Right. On that note, Sumya, hi, welcome back. Any updates?
Yeah, so we have a proposal for the next, what do you call it, event in the lecture series on backyards with native plants. I think last time I had done a write-up on one of our residents who had an acclaimed backyard with native plants. So continuing on that theme, I contacted a few more, or rather she suggested I contact more people. So I have 4 people now who would love to present how they have developed their backyards with native plants. Potentially a 5th, I have not yet spoken to her. So if everybody is in agreement with this, we can use this as the next topic, and I can do the next step. Does this have to be passed with a motion, or can I go ahead and schedule it with the township?
So are we still thinking it's virtual?
I don't know, whatever the township allows. I will have to find, I mean, whatever is the current protocol. Virtual is fine, hybrid is fine, whatever is possible is fine. I mean, no specifications from our front. Virtual is actually not bad. It's pretty good because I think we can get more people in.
So if you're asking me, I don't think you have a topic, you have a date, you want to start moving forward. I think that's all you need. I don't think the township needs to know exactly that Sally, Joey, and Mary are going to be speaking.
I don't have a date. I just wanted to first get the approval from the EAC, and then I can contact these 4 or 5 people and see what date they all agree to. But it also depends on availability with the township, right?
Right. I would do it in reverse. I'd get dates from the township and then see what works for people.
Yeah. So that would be Katie?
Yes.
And are we doing hybrid or Zoom? What is the current?
Well, right now we're right. Is there anybody in the township building? Right now we're still in this hybrid, but I don't know how much longer that will be. I don't know. But it does look as though things are becoming or changing, and we might expect it to change here as well.
Right, things are getting down to last summer's levels as far as COVID.
Yeah, so
Maybe
I
we
will
could
with
do
whatever the
hybrid.
township offers us. And the idea was to keep it in springtime or ready for spring planting, or to basically make the gardeners of our township enthusiastic for spring planting. So I will ask Katie for the soonest dates and just go from there. And I'm sure there'll be a lot of back and forth because it will be difficult to coordinate 5 people plus the township availability. And whatever works out between all of them will be fine with me. And I can share those options with the EAC, and we can move ahead with it then.
Sure.
Any suggestions on this?
Have somebody talk about monarchs. Suzanne sent that information about monarchs. Maybe one of them can cover that.
Suzanne sent some information on monarchs.
Oh, you know what? I don't think everybody was on it.
Oh,
Was
No,
everybody on it?
I sent it to the chair and the co-chair asking if
oh,
this was
okay.
something you wanted to.
Yeah,
bring
we'll send it out to everybody. And there are a lot of things in the list of the 30 things that gardeners can do to really help monarchs.
Oh, that way. Yeah. I'm going to. I think they are all this. Well, the presenters so far, I'm sure you probably know most of them or all of them. So far, the confirmations are from Connie Morrow Fairchild, Catherine Beat, Laura Brandt, and Rebecca Hunt. And I'm yet to speak to Susan Harrison, and hopefully she will be interested. But we have 4 people at least. So they're all passionate about habitat and the productive role of yards for wildlife and such. And I'm sure they will definitely talk about it. They have all these certifications from different agencies as what do you call it, ecologically successful habitats, home habitats. So that would be definitely part of the presentation.
So, specifically, and I didn't read it all, but now I've gotten it 5 times. So it's always interesting, the letters that we get, but there is some kind of a formalized program that towns, residents, et cetera, can consider being a part of that is focused for protection, development, however you want to put it, of the monarchs. And if, obviously we could speak to it, but would you want to consider it as another EAC community building project where we try to get residents to sign up to do these specific tasks so that we could send that information back to this group?
Absolutely.
Is this something we could do for either Community Day and or Earth Day?
Hand out the information about it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That seems, we got to hand out something at those points.
Well, again, not that we promote any businesses anywhere, but at Community Day or Earth Day, would you guys consider partnering with someone, right? So that it's really easy to talk about these kind of things, but let's pretend that we all decided that the best way to help monarchs is to plant, I don't know, echinacea, I know it's not the butterfly.
Milkweed.
Milkweed.
What's the big one?
Milkweed. So we would have milkweed available to be purchased?
Oh, actually, milkweed seeds are always distributed free at the Churchville Nature Center when they have these monarch tagging events, and a number of residents also grow milkweed. And you know about the recent free seed share that has been set up. So we could make it available free from whoever is willing to donate.
Yeah, hand them out.
Seeds are good. Plants are possible fundraisers. I don't know if we want to raise funds, right? But, whatever we can do, right? Because some people won't be able to get a seed to grow. I might be in that list. But, just an idea.
Yeah, but we can also, the few people I know are very generous with sharing plants as well. I have myself taken plants, saplings, which people have thinned out from their yards. So we have a bunch of people who are doing this regularly. So if you want to put out a call for plants that help with as host or nectar plants for the monarch. We can put out a call, and I'm sure some people will respond, the ones who have them. The people who regularly share their plants free of
Yeah.
cost.
Heather is doing that seed bomb thing. Did you know that, Sumya? Heather is.
Yeah, I believe so. Yes, I think she.
Sumya is
she told
following
me, yeah,
Heather
told me.
around on social media and putting up pictures of Heather at the library in Morrisville. I'm gonna have to get a training order.
Yeah, that's the least. That's the least I could do. That was a tremendous initiative by Jean, I believe, and this, she and Heather put it together.
No, there's part of me that wondered, did they approach the library in Lower Makefield, and did the library say no, which would sadden me. They're not.
I didn't get to chat with them more. They were busy handing out seats to 100 people that day. So
Lower Makefield, not Mars, Lower Makefield.
Now, Suzanne, I thought I was going to invite Heather to the Earth Day thing at the park and to talk about composting. And is that okay? I mean, I want to be careful not to be,
Yeah, I mean, look, Heather spoke to us, right? So she speaks about composting. I guess
Right.
the nuance is, can she wear a shirt that says Kona? I think probably she can. Can she have signups? That might get a little dicey, but you tell me what you want to do and I'll help you figure out the answer or what she's available to do.
Right.
We can work on that, offline, Jean.
Okay. All right. That sounds
So
good.
just to understand follow-up, so we have one event which is sort of a discussion presentation by homeowners on backyards. Is the monarch thing tied to this, or are we looking at it as a separate thing? What Suzanne, what you mentioned about the township wanting to sign up to this
No,
campaign?
it's always fun, this.
Sorry?
My internet is breaking up. The township doesn't want to sign up for anything. I haven't talked to any other supervisors. I got a series of emails. I passed them on to Alan and Linda and said, do you guys think this looks like something the EAC might want to get involved with / promote or whatever? So
okay,
it's a very...
formally, what exactly is it? Like, what is the step that we can take?
I think Linda and Alan said they're going to send around the email. So maybe
Yeah, we'll send it to you, Sumya.
No, I already sent it.
Oh, you did?
Okay.
You're efficient.
But it looks like it's something that the town, looks like it's a mayor thing that has to be signed.
Yeah, except since we don't have a mayor, right? We get form letters all the time. Like you cannot imagine how much we get. So somebody somewhere has this great idea to do something to help the monarchs. So strip out all the mayor and whatever. Does it look like something you guys want to help promote? And then we can figure out how to message it to residents, whether or not we can meet the theme of the ask or the actual ask where we become a monarch certified, whatever the heck it would end up being. Those are the questions.
But we can get the information out at a minimum. Yeah.
Right. And then what Alan was saying, Sumya, is maybe you could ask your speakers to focus specifically on the issue related to monarchs and have 5 minutes or 10 minutes in their presentation on what you can do to attract monarchs, even if we don't end up going with this other initiative.
Oh, I think it's, I would sort of ask them to talk about their story, how they got involved, how they went along, what problems they had, how they're maintaining it, etc., rather than give them they're all accomplished naturalists. So I'm sure they'll talk about not just monarchs, but wildlife. But if this is a monarch specific thing, we can do another follow-up thing for monarchs, putting together all that you're saying, distributing seeds, talking about it. I wouldn't specify what the speakers have to say. I'm sure they'll have lots to share about their own experience. which will, I'm sure, include monarchs as well, because I know Connie has photographed monarch caterpillars on her, in her backyard. So that will be part of the thing in any case.
Yeah,
But
we could
not a
mention it to them.
Huh?
You could mention it to them, though, that we're interested in that.
Yeah. No, what I'm saying is it probably deserves a separate focus, however we develop it as an event or campaign or whatever. So I'll take a look at whatever the document you sent, and we can discuss something.
Yeah, it'd be nice to have a handout that we could give people that say, if you want to help monarchs, this is what you can do. And then we could have a pack of seeds with it. Seems like it'd be effective.
Yeah. Seeds or plants, like Suzanne would like saplings. So we could have a plant swap.
An idea.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I mean, people are doing plant swap anyway, unofficially. We could sort of bring it together as a day and call it a plant swap day and see where it goes.
Since I just love to throw out ideas, I was speaking to the new chair of the Historic Commission, and he asked me for an idea, and I thought, well, do we really promote history in LMT, right? Like, is there a building we would want to talk about with the communities? Is there like an LMT history day? I don't know. I really don't know. Maybe there's a partnership there between you guys and them. Like, what would gardens have looked like at the time that LMT was first settled? Or are there plants that we particularly associate with LMT that we would like to encourage the planting and growth of? I don't know. You know me, I'm always making up community activities. Let me get past my blood drive, and then I'll sign back up for other things.
All right, well, we're running out of time here. We gotta move it.
All right, Jim, is there anything to talk about on the Stewardship Award for this year, or is it too early?
No, it's rather early, but that doesn't mean anything. Again, what I'd like everybody to do is, if you know of somebody deserving of this award, let us know about it, and ask your friends about this as well too. And a lot of you might be tied into other community organizations as well. So I would welcome, any input. Again, it's never too early, but Jean and I are constantly on the lookout too. Whenever we hear of something happening, let's say in the township or in the local paper that we think deserves attention, we take a look at it. But this is, I think this is a very important piece of what we do as an environmental council. And it's, I think, one of the things the supervisors love to do best. And I know I feel the same way about that too. So again, we welcome any input anybody might have, you, your friends, or whatever. And that's about it. Thank you.
I hear you. You want to nominate me. I say no. Thank you very much.
What famous person said that, Suzanne? Okay. If nominated, I will not run. If something or other, I will.
I just want to take the pressure off, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. General Sherman, the guy from the Civil War.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. And well, we won't get into him, but he was a mixed bag. But
He said that.
All right, so then we get to the sewer sale letter. Did everyone get a chance to read the letter that Alan drafted?
Yeah, Jonah sent me some edits, which typos, and I fixed those.
Do we want to
Yeah.
vote on this?
I
Or-
read the letter thoroughly, and it's again, nice job, Alan. I think you picked up most of the thoughts that we were talking about as a council. So
Yeah, Jonah brought up a few questions, and I don't know if you want to go over those, Jonah, or not.
I'm happy to review them if this is an appropriate time to do so. How much more time do we have?
Well, the sewer sale goes final tomorrow, so we should try and get this letter out next week.
Sure.
Yeah, your one question about how long it would take to recoup costs for the solar panels on the township building. Kevin, do you have any idea about that? I'm not an expert on that. Is there any way to calculate that? Kevin?
Sorry, calculate what?
We're proposing that some of the money be spent to put solar panels on the township building to generate the electricity for the building and maybe the public works garage. Is there any way to calculate how long you get payback on that?
Yeah, typically it's done by energy companies, similar to Exact Solar. They would review the bills and then solar exposures and shading.
So it's pretty complicated. It sounds like
It's to those who do it every day, it's not that complicated. I don't do it every day, so
yeah.
Now, we looked into solar many years ago for Lower Makefield Township, about the time that we won that small award that put the 10 panels on the roof. And in talking to Mark and other people, from what I gather now, the returns on investment are much, much more attractive because the solar panels themselves are much more effective than they were just a few years ago. So I think this might be something we might want to look into in the future more thoroughly. This is something that interests me greatly, so I would be glad to start looking again into that in the future.
typically I've seen paybacks of like 10 to 20 years, depending on a lot on the shading. But if you're looking at a government facility, which they're going to hold on to for a long time, it makes more sense.
Yeah. And I don't think there's any shading of the township building roof. So that wouldn't be a factor. Yeah,
Well,
we'd have to, yeah.
A quick
one of the
Google
things
search.
they actually looked at, so one of the things I actually looked at is in the township parking lot to create not patios, but car covers almost. And then the whole array would be on top of these roofs and you park under them. It's like a carport almost. So there's a lot of different ways of doing this, but a lot of it still is grant driven. You can do wonders with the ROIs if you're getting a lot of money to do it from somebody.
Do you think that information is important, Suzanne, to the supervisors? The payback period?
I think that if they're interested, they'll figure out, either reach back out to you or
Yeah.
figure out another
Okay.
way to get it.
Yeah, maybe I can put something like that in the letter. If they're interested, we'll try and find out the payback period. Okay, I'll add that to the letter. And the EV purchase of police car, purchase electrical vehicles. The Ready for 100, is that in the Ready for 100 program, Kevin? Should I mention that, you think, in the letter or not? Or
You could say it can contribute to other township energy goals. Leave it vague.
Hey, guys, I've got to drop off. I have to be on another call. So,
okay. Well, we're probably
Enjoy
going to
the-
vote to send this out, and you'll see it next week. Okay.
Yeah, I don't get to vote, so.
Okay, Suzanne, enjoy the rest of your evening.
Bye-bye.
Thanks, guys. Have a good night.
All right. So if I make those two changes, tell them that if they are interested in solar panels, we'll get the payback period on that, and then mention the EVs will contribute to. Is it the Ready for 100 program, or what are we saying they're going to contribute to?
I don't want to say that they'll definitely contribute to anything.
Yeah.
So they will, but I'd rather say that it will help the township meet
Townships, yeah, general
energy
statement.
sustainability goals.
Yeah. All right. Good. A lot of police departments are doing this now, buying electrical vehicles. because apparently they end up saving money on them. And
Well, it also makes sense.
Vehicle anyway.
These cars are driven locally, and a charging station in a central location makes a lot of sense.
yeah. All right, so can we make a vote to send this out next week?
Motion to send this out.
To send this letter out regarding the sewer proceeds with
Right.
changes that Alan just discussed as soon as those changes are made.
Seconded.
All right. All in favor?
Favor?
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Check that one off.
Kevin, any updates? Nope.
I had a big thing with my daughter that was taking up my time. Sorry, next month.
The only other thing is the deer management thing. I just don't know.
Oh,
what we could possibly do
I'm
about
happy
that.
to remove that. That shouldn't be there. Sorry about that.
That's okay. I wasn't sure what we could be able to do about that anyway, to tell you the truth.
We've
Um,
done that many times in the future,
So then
and
the past-
it's or in the future, I'm sorry, not in the future, I guess in the past, seems, wake me up here. It's a very, very complicated topic, and it demands, a lot of time be spent on it. But this is something we should definitely be looking at as a council in the future, I think.
all right. Anybody have anything else?
On next month's agenda, we'll have the Earth Day, April 23rd event on there, because we have to find out who's can be there and what we're going to hand out, things like that. We got to get that a little bit organized.
Yeah, there's one other thing I'd like to bring up. I know we just have a minute or two, but an associate of mine who is also a naturalist at Bowman's Hill Wildflower Preserve gave me a call last week regarding the Snipes tract, and it seems that that whole issue is starting to open up again. This gentleman at the time belonged to a citizens group that opposed the Snipes tract for use as a recreation facility area. And, some information from me, and I told him, I gave him Linda's contact and Alan's contact to talk, about that. Anyway, this issue is starting to arise again, and I think we have to be aware of what's happening. The poll, or whatever you want to call it, that was undertaken in Lower Makefield Township indicated that probably roughly 60% of the people would be more in favor of kind of an open tract, nature preserve type area, and about 40% would view it as having more recreational opportunities in fields and that sort of thing. So this is, I think, a 34-acre tract, and it has, I think, real important ramifications for the future of the township. So this is something that I think possibly we might want to talk about at our next meeting and maybe put it on the agenda at that time.
Okay, at the March 8th Park and Rec meeting, they're going to talk about what to do with snipes, among other things. That's just one of the many things they're going to talk about. But this consultant will come up with a recommendation for Park and Rec to approve, and then it gets sent on to the Board of Supervisors. So yeah, it's either going to be soccer fields or nature trails or somewhere in between.
I have to leave.
At this stage, probably some kind of mixed use, I think. That's probably what the recommendations will state. But
Probably, yeah. But I like it the way it is. But that's me.
well, you're not alone, Alan. A lot of people like it the way it is. It's a beautiful piece of property just to be left alone, but I'm not sure that's going to happen.
Yeah, we'll see.
I have to leave. I'll catch up later. Thank you.
Okay, our next
Thank
meeting, I think,
you.
is April
9th.
7th.
No, April.
April 7th, I
Is
think.
it?
7, Thursday.
Oh.
Okay,
April.
yeah.
That's all I know.
April 7th.
Yep.
On the calendar.
Okay. All right, I guess
That's it.
that's it, hey? All right, I will make a motion to end this meeting.
All right,
Second.
second.
All in
All in favor?
favor?
Aye.
Yeah.
Thank you, everyone.
All right, everybody.